Hi everybody, Phil from Hybrid Me, doing a video, or revisiting a video that I did in the past where I'm comparing two different types of impact screen. A budget archery grade that comes finished with eyelets all around the edge and can often be a great entry point into golf simulation, can be very good for commercial usage because they are heavy duty and they're lower cost. And then there's the premium material, which is typically slightly more than double the price of the archery screen. It gives a smoother image, and certainly, in my opinion, for multi-purpose, where you're looking at watching movies, watching sport, as well as using it for golf simulation, is a superior screen material. Now that is raw. What do I mean by raw and finished? So the reason I've revisited the video, just so people are aware, is the last one I was carrying my phone and I was moving from landscape to portrait, pointing it at the ceiling, and people were just quite a few negative comments saying, made me feel sick with all the movements. I'm going to try and do things a bit smoother and better. So let me first explain what I mean by finished and raw. So these are two screens that Hybrid Me sell. The archery screen at the back I've had for 5 years now. And by finished, I mean it's got reinforced edges, it's got eyelets, roughly every 50 centimetres now, but these ones were 30. As it's a screen that was from different. It's got a kind of knitted mesh, so you can see there are holes in the fabric, so light won't reflect off every bit of that material. There will be bleeding through the screen, as I call it. That also means if there's any light source behind, like you can probably pick out these lines, that's actually where I've got blinds at the back of the building and there's light coming through because it's a relatively sunny day. What do I mean by raw screen? So the budget archery grade screen comes finished. And you can have eyelets and reinforced edges on 4 sides or less. You can choose if you don't want them on the bottom, or maybe you don't want them on the top and bottom, just on the sides, whatever you wish. What is raw material? Raw material is this, it's just a sheet of material. So there's no finishing with reinforced edges or eyelets. Now the material doesn't fray, but effectively you just get a sheet of material, and most people mount it using tarp clips. Now I've done another video showing how that's done. Any excess material you simply fold behind and grip the material, and it allows you to make all adjustments. What are the pros and cons? Well, the pros and cons are finished screens, you need to be careful about the size you order, because if you're going to be using those eyelets, if you get them too big, you won't be able to get the screen nice and taut, and if it's too small, it won't obviously fill the space you want to fill, so you have to be a bit careful. With raw material, as long as you've got enough, you can make all of those little adjustments once the screen is up, and you can fold more or fold less material in. You'll also notice if I go close up on the premium material, you'll see there's no light bleed. There's no holes in the fabric. Another difference is the archery, the kind of flexibility of this kind of knitted mesh screen means it can kind of fold and pull, and as I give those wavy areas where I will take down these clips at the end when I showed a demo video, and you'll see that the premium material just wants to hang smoothly. It doesn't really want to flop around or flap around. It wants to just give a smooth image across. And yes, you can get some pooling, like I don't know if you can pick it up, there's a little bit of waviness, but it doesn't really distort the image anywhere near as much as the kind of archery grade, which for gaming, which for movies, I think is very important. The other aspect, of course, is image quality. And here I'm just going to go and do a couple of things. So that's with the lights on. I'll turn the lights off. So with the lights off now, I don't know, I'm trying to film this in 4K, so hopefully I'm positioned around just over 4 meters where the camera is, and if I zoom in, you may be able to see the difference between. On the bottom, like I can visibly here see the coarseness, the graininess of the image. Now, the contrast is great. I can see all the details I need, and for golf simulation, no problem at all. I mean, I could watch movies and sport on it, but the top image above, ignore that middle bit that's all wavy, that's just where the material's folded. The top section looks perfectly smooth, and I don't see any of that kind of graininess and coarseness of the image. And as I say, I'm expecting that this might be visible. If I look at the bottom, you might be able to see the kind of what I'm on about when I say the coarseness, the kind of waviness. And on the top, if I tilt it back, it's nice and smooth. Now, contrast-wise, I could make an argument that the blacks are slightly deeper on the Archery screen with a slightly more plasticky finish to it. However, that comes down also to projectors and what you've got there. So I found that I couldn't really justify any need to add an additional cinema screen in front. When I've watched movies, it's been perfectly adequate. Now, I've only got a projector with 10,000 to 1 contrast. It is a 4K projector, and what I'll do now is just let the screen there. Actually, I'll show the 4K demo, and then I will if I go back again, you can probably see, I mean, obviously I couldn't put a bit more effort in to get rid of the kind of pooling and puckering by tensioning it better. As I said, that's just my rear screen, which is why I've not done that. So don't really judge it on that. It's more just image quality. You know, they're both fine. It's just the smoothness of the image at the top, certainly, that gives that extra benefit, I would say. Now what I'm going to do is just let down the, as far as bounce back goes, I can't really test it when the screens aren't fixed properly. I'll try and do it. Let's have a go. So that's just hit the Archery screen, drop down and then rolled forward, and the top one's just hit the screen, drop down. So really, it does come to how hard you tension things. If you over tension, you get more bounce back, but both of these screens are very quiet when the ball impacts, and they also display low bounce back. I'll let the clips down here, so it shows the full width of the image, and hopefully it also highlights how, if I can just reach that one, just letting the material down, so it's not fixed anywhere here on the left, and it's not fixed anywhere here on the right. And again, working with the premium material is actually very easy, and you can see the smoothness of the image. I'm just going to go back and show another demo video, which I hope people don't mind seeing. Skip the ad. I'll put this onto 4K. And I'll skip it on a little bit. I'm not sure I think this is the video that gets, when the lizards appear, everything looks very sharp. So again, this is being filmed from about 4 meters away. Ignore the black marks on the screen, that's where I throw clubs at the screen, so that's entirely my fault. You know, if I was watching a movie, and a 4K movie, yes, I could justify probably having a slightly higher contrast projector, but I wanted short throw 4K, and I didn't want to spend an absolute fortune on it. So, you know, from my point of view, the image quality is fantastic. You know, do I recommend one over the other? It comes down to budgets. If you've got the budget for the premium screen, if you are looking at movies, dual cinema usage, I absolutely heartily recommend using the premium screen. I also find it easier myself to use tart clips and make all of those adjustments for tensioning rather than using eyelets. If you're working on a budget, or if it's commercial usage and you're worried about the cost of having to replace the screen frequently, then absolutely the Archery screens give some amazing value. I hope that's been more watchable than the previous video. Any questions, please let me know. I'm more than happy to revisit this if I've ducked something that I really should have addressed. Again, I'll just show the golf course. I'll go into GS Pro and show you the golf course, which people, of course, so you can get a representation of what it'll actually look like. I haven't connected up the launch monitor, so I'll just do a fly cam over. And it just gives you an idea of what kind of graphics you can potentially be playing with and looking at using an impact screen. Thank you for watching. As I say, please like the video if you like it. If you dislike it, please tell me what I should have done and I'll revisit it and do it again. Please subscribe if you want more of these videos. And if you are looking for an impact screen, please get in touch. I'll be more than happy to give you pricing and details for both the Archery grade and the premium screen. Thank you very much.